Hello, welcome to the Literary Gladiators. I'm Andrew, and in this video I will be discussing the books I purchased from our group trip at the Book Garden in Cream Ridge. I think this is my second haul for Book Garden. My first couple of visits there were just excited messages I'd send to Josh to let him know the cool things I found and picked up. But I will get right into it. The first book that I found, which was a gem and required my first need for their ladder, is first edition God Emperor Dune by Frank Herbert. This is the fourth in the Dune canon, and the first four are really great novels. I had read it before from a previous trip to the Book Garden. I picked up the soft cover, and both covers are pretty dope, so I'm happy to now own the soft cover and hardcover first edition. So I was excited when I first found that. Then I found another first edition, which was Stephen King's Firestarter, and I don't really have too much to say in way of this. I just started it, so if you're interested, I'll further explain it in an upcoming video if you'd like. And this was excellent. It was a June 1988 copy of Twilight Zone magazine, which was a stellar gem across I believe the whole decade of the 80s. T.E.D. Klein edited it, and this had a great story by Robert McCammon, The Stinger, which later became a novel, and I'm excited enough now to read the novel version. I picked it up in Kindle, and I'm going to get on with that after Firestarter. I think now I'm in the realm of the books that I did read, and I picked up the Damnation game from Clive Barker. That was his first full novel after his Books of Blood collections of his short stories, and this was of course a great time, and it was the cover that I remembered seeing in the store when I was younger, so that was a good one. And I was also happy to find Sematary. This was the cover that I remembered. I recently read this, but the cover I had was this kind of meh kind of cover, and so I was happy to find this. So I have them both, but yeah, I read this maybe last month, and this was a great dark novel. Good stuff. I got a lot of mileage out of this anthology, Creatures. It's edited by Paul Tremblay and John Langan, both notable names from horror. John Langan is like John Langan and Laird Barron are two of my, they are like my absolute favorites. And this had there's like four notable stories in here that really stuck out. Of course, number one would be Clive Barker's Rawhead Rex, and then there is Gemophile's Blood Makes Noise. Robert McCammon had a great story called Deep End, and Laird Barron's Proboscis, which I've read before. I think that was in his occultation collection, or it was from another magazine. But yeah, the name of this book is Creatures, and it involved creatures and or monsters, and it was it's a great collection of I think there might be one or two stories left in this, but anthologies in general for me are kind of hard to get through because you have to constantly get your bearings on a story, and also after you read one, sometimes you want to dwell on that story for the day, so it's not as easy cruising as, say, a novel. So, but like anthologies are a little tough to get through, time-wise. But this has been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of joy reading this. And Another anthology I got, which is usually the gold standard for anthologies when it's edited by Ellen Datlow, is Blood and Other Cravings. I've only read 2 of the stories from here. The Ellen Datlow's All You Can Do Is Breathe, and The Siphon from, again, Laird Barron. I thought there was another story that I read in here, but I've got to get a little bit. This involves all vampirism and, outside of the cliched vampire trope. It's a lot of great quality dark stories here, and I was really happy about that. And as with all great shopping trips, this one was, I don't know if I should, I guess I'll let you know that I bought it. It wasn't without its impulse buys, and at the register, Dan had noted that they had a lot of copies, old copies of Animorphs. So I didn't go nuts on it, but I bought a couple of copies of Animorphs, which is something I couldn't have resisted. But I got Animorphs 2 and 11. So primarily they had the cool flip books in the corners. I don't know if it... See, it had the human transmogrifies into the leopard, I believe. But they're great stories, and for a younger kid who might want to get into reading, I'll have those on hand. And of course, we had a great time visiting with George, who's always a step above. He's always there, willing to talk, and a lot of great things to talk about, and learned a lot of great things as usual. And as always, I look forward to returning, and he was really nice. He gave the whole group, that's right, he gave the whole group all these really sweet, mine was silver, other people's might be different, but we all got these sweet pens. So it's my favorite store, and really hope you get around to checking them out. Thanks for listening. Bye.